All right. First try, here we are.
All right, indeed.
Yes, we have not done a take or few before this at all.
A little bit of
No
battery
way.
issues.
Yeah.
It happens. Awesome.
Fully charged batteries all
There
around.
we go. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So welcome to the show.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, Matthew?
Yeah. So my name is Matthew Christoffel. I am the chair and founder of the Cybersecurity Community Outreach Organization. I am also a graduate student at FSU studying computer science and security. I do a lot of capture the flag events here at FSU. I am a member of the CTF team Null 3-pointer. You can find us on ctftime.org. We're actually the top 15 CTF team in the country right now. And that's not just university, that's total in the United States.
In the country,
Yeah.
yes.
So, which is very cool. I'm very proud of all of the work that me and the team have put in toward solving a lot of these problems. It's been a very good learning experience and been a lot of fun this year especially. So we've been getting very involved in that.
Very, very impressive stuff right there. Yeah.
It's very cool.
There are a lot of us out there who are trying to get into cybersecurity, trying to be hackers, okay?
Yeah,
Offensive
awesome.
security specialists.
Mhm.
How would one go about doing that? Maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in college. How do you get into cybersecurity?
Yeah. So if you want to get into cybersecurity field, like I was just saying, the single most important thing you could do is to start doing these hands-on capture the flag challenges. So it's not like the capture the flag that you're thinking of where you run outside and start running around, grabbing flags from the other team. What you're doing is you're hopping online and you're hacking in an ethical environment to get data off of machines or off of disk images, doing network forensics, solving cryptography problems, padding Oracle attacks. You do all sorts of cool hacking related things, real world stuff. And doing that hands-on practice with real-world cybersecurity, it's going to look exceedingly good on a resume, let alone the skills you'll be able to bring to an interview or to your future career. Invaluable.
I know a lot of people are looking at cybersecurity for the paycheck. I know a lot of us
For sure.
like doing it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
It is fun.
Yes.
Especially if you start doing capture the flags.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very gamified way to look at cybersecurity that really just makes it something special.
I agree, yes. But for those of us trying to get into the job market, certifications.
Certifications.
Yes.
Oh, always
Very
a classic. So,
broad topic.
yeah. So
Can you help us navigate through that complex world?
Complex indeed. So certifications are very, very interesting. They're very, very annoying at times. So obviously the side of certifications that I like are the workshops that you can do, the sort of skill building, what they have to offer me. Ultimately, what people are after these certifications are for just that name on your resume. And there's some very interesting statistics if you look at certifications in that light. So, a lot of the certifications that people will get are specifically the CompTIA Security Plus. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this will have heard of that or even have their certification themselves. So there's actually some very interesting statistics on the cybersecurity heat map. You can just search that up online. What you're actually going to find is, I looked this up just a little bit ago. I believe they update it pretty regularly. I'm not entirely certain about that. But what they show is that 260,000 people have CompTIA Security Plus on their resume, whereas only 63,000 employers on LinkedIn or Indeed are actually asking for this certification. So there is a very, very clear discrepancy there. And
yeah, looking at the data I saw, it was 260,000 people with the certification. And the next was 80,000. And then when you look at the actual jobs
it is
looking
the
for it,
most popular by far. They have done a remarkable job at gaining notoriety, and advertising is what they dumped a lot of money into there. So
yeah, and then it's second place, down by 10,000 jobs. So it's not even.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, if I pull up the statistics,
Yeah, please.
once again, just really quick, so I can tell you what that other what the other one was the highest asked for. Because it's another thing pretty interesting is the Certified Information Systems Security Professional, or the CISSP. Are you familiar with what that certification is?
No.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, the CISSP is a very high-ranking certification that requires many, many years of experience in the actual cybersecurity field.
Is that because you can't do it without that experience, or is it just so hard you need the experience?
It is a very difficult exam here. So let me go ahead and really quick just verify that information here, because I believe that's what it is if I'm not mistaken. So let me just literally look up. So years of experience required for the CISSP.
Yeah, we don't have a Jamie to pull it up.
Yeah, sorry.
Not Joe Rogan.
Yeah, not. Hey, Jamie, pull up the years required for the CISSP. Yeah, minimum of 5 years cumulative full-time experience for the CISSP.
So you need to have been working for 5 years.
That is what they recommend.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So it's sort of a goal.
Yeah, candidates must have a minimum of 5 years cumulative full-time experience in 2 or more of 8 domains of the current CISSP outline. And that's crazy. That is obviously not a majority of jobs are asking for that. And as you can see by the statistics, a vast majority of people have a Security Plus certification. So just looking a little bit more into the tier list here of the
It seems to me like trying to parse this information that the CompTIA one is good for, I guess, trying to get into it. Sure, it's not.
So what it's great for is, first of all, the jobs that do ask for it, obviously there's still a large number. It is still a very notorious certification.
Notorious.
Yeah, it's one of the most well-known cybersecurity certifications in the world right now. And
is there a but?
No, there's no but. What it teaches you is it'll teach you all of the basics of what you need to know to get into cybersecurity. But ultimately, what's going to happen is that if you just go into the exam to pass the exam, and this is a problem that a lot of jobs have. I've spoken with many different employers at federal job fairs or just private sector job fairs, where they explicitly they need you to prove your skills. You can pass an exam. I can study for the Security Plus and pass it within 2 weeks. I firmly believe that anybody could do that. The real factor here is what skills do you have to show for it. If you're just memorizing all of the information and you're not interpreting it, practicing it, and are ready for to get your hands dirty in the real world of cybersecurity, then that's an issue, and that's what Capture the Flag has to offer, and that's what I think is very special about that. So yeah.
Cybersecurity is such an interesting field because it is so important. If we do not have good computer security, I mean, horrible things can happen. We see it all the time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any sort of hacking, people's personal information.
Yeah. So what you're gonna see a lot is in modern times right now, there's a lot of cyber warfare tools being developed that can put people at risk. There's a lot of active criminal organizations out to just sell access tokens or high level developed malware to the highest bidder, no matter who they are or what these tools will be used for, and that creates obviously a very dangerous environment. This isn't even this also considering just all of the scams and the harm done to just the regular folk here. So if you go online right now, you're going to find a whole bunch of these very clickbaity ads that will instantly put, that could instantly put malware on your computer, that all of a sudden you're now a member, your device is now a beautiful member of a large botnet, and then all of a sudden
DDoSing Twitter.
It starts proliferating, and all of a sudden your electric toothbrush is now, a fellow member of this lovely little botnet family that your household and all of its devices have to offer.
You're just trying to get Robux, and now your toothbrush
I'm just trying to get Robux, man. I'm just trying to get Robux.
And your toothbrush is now
all,
with your fridge and your microwave.
Yeah, all your toothbrush are become theirs, is sort of the situation that you could find yourself in if you're not careful. And that's part of the reason why we're trying to do this safety outreach, is to help the everyday people navigate this now dangerous space online. But there's just a lot of things to consider, and it's very worthwhile to try to get into the field because of the innate good that it has to offer. So,
speaking on that cybersecurity outreach, of which I'm also a part of, by the way, I have not been formally introduced.
Why don't you introduce
Robert
yourself?
Romero. Yes,
we got Robert Romero, our
digital media manager.
Our excellent digital media manager.
Appreciate it.
So.
I guess there's no really other way of asking this. Why, right? You seem so passionate about giving to the community, spreading how to be safe online.
Yeah.
How did this come about? How did you start this? And
so
why?
It really comes from one of my major sort of tenets is I love teaching other people about topics important to me is one of the most valuable experiences that I ever could have or ask for. I am forever grateful to be in the space where I can, and that's why it's incredibly valuable for me to keep learning and to keep sharing the information with others. There's a great analogy for this, which is igniting that flame of knowledge in other people, and the flame itself spreads, and I think that is endlessly beautiful, and something that I really want to try to just keep that flame going of knowledge and share it with other people. And with cybersecurity specifically, that knowledge comes with a added benefit of staying safe, because there's all of these different compromises you're going to have, and it can be a very scary situation a lot of people find themselves in. So just teaching people about skepticism, what to be aware of, all these different risks is I'm very passionate about that, because it's great for the common good. And I'm very thankful that CTFs have made it so enjoyable and fun to learn about these attacks that other people are doing, so that I can in the future help people protect themselves against that. It's just awesome.
CTFs are a wonderful thing.
Easily.
Because it's so hard. Cybersecurity is, in my opinion, notoriously hard to teach, because you need to know so much about one subject to be able to explain how a binary exploitation works.
Absolutely.
You need to have so much prerequisite knowledge to realize that, hey, my thing is completely insecure. So I think it's extremely noble to be teaching other people about how this works and being inviting about it.
Yeah, well, you don't get me wrong, you do benefit greatly from that knowledge, but there's a thing out there, a group of people known as script kiddies, who don't know. They just grab scripts online and they just send it loose because they're out here to make quick buck, and that's possible. These tools are developed by the people who have the know-how, and the thing with CTFs and trying to teach these to just everybody I can, and inspire people to start participating in these, what you're going to find is you are now all of a sudden required to have a more in-depth knowledge of how these attacks are done. You can't, you might find yourself in a situation where all of a sudden, the same, script or tool set you've been using is no longer functional due to a very specific protection they have on the memory in this case. And all of a sudden, my buffer overflow script doesn't work. So what you have to do is you have to research, look into how these work, and that is where CTFs really shine, is requiring you in a gamified form to dive deep into how these exploits work. So once again, you can get into the field just being a script kiddie. Absolutely. There's a lot of people out there who do that. But there's the avenue that you were saying, which is if you want to be good and you want to write your own scripts and write your own tools, to both, to do whatever goals you may have, that's where the deeper level knowledge is required.
And also, script kiddies don't get jobs.
Script kiddies, it's going to be a lot harder for them to get jobs. That is absolutely correct. If you walk in there and say, yeah, I use Nmap without
I've used John the Ripper.
I use John the Ripper, right? It's not exactly, anybody could do that. It's like I can use Microsoft Word.
Or Excel.
Yeah. Obviously, very different things there, but you're still just using a tool developed by somebody else. What employers would really value is somebody able to make their own tools, to do their own research, to sort of innovate, and that inevitably will, make a organization, if it's like private sector, that has the avenue to make a lot more money there, because now you're an asset, rather than a script kiddie. So
it's so strange, cybersecurity, because all it takes is somebody who really knows what they're doing, one bad actor, and you have an army of script kiddies using their tool, destroying, wreaking havoc.
Absolutely.
So CTFs, they can be very difficult at times, and you'll just go ahead and look up a write-up because it's just too hard.
Yes.
So what is your process for solving? And do you think that working in a group helps, and a team? Do you think that having people around you is a very important part into actually solving these problems?
So there's a number of things I can say about those are many different questions all in one there. So with regards to learning how to do CTFs, there's a website called Pico CTF. That website has numerous, I believe well over 100 now, problems for you to solve that are beginner friendly. In fact, they actually get pretty up there in difficulty too. Some of those forensics problems can be very difficult to try to solve. But if you stick with it and you go through and solve all of those beginner problems, you're going to find yourself very capable in participating in a lot of these capture the flag challenges in the real world. And
you're going to graduate from being a script kiddie to being somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Once you get through the moderate level on Pico CTF, you are pretty much required. You are on the way to removing the chains of being a script kiddie, being reliant on these other scripts. You're gonna be required to write your own scripts using Python libraries like Pwn tools in order to exploit these binary vulnerabilities. So Pico CTF is very much a fantastic learning platform to get started.